Good morning, everybody. A lovely morning, and welcome all of you to this Mega Master course, Manifestation Decoded, the secret behind the secret. Trans, you're getting so many secrets out of us, and you're just uh, getting the best out of us, the real out of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, today we have 11 ego traps. Again, a very, very important and a very profound topic. Your ego is the only trap you can fall into. You're stuck in an ego trap if you feel superior or self righteous. Think you're more spiritual, believe you know it all, refuse to learn from others, compare yourself to others. Think you're better, feel people should think and be like you. So choose to focus on love, happiness, joy, and abundance, and you'll just free yourself. So, yes, happy morning to everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. And we have this beautiful topic. Over to Shreans. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashri. So beautifully said. Thank you. So, welcome, friends. Thank you so much for coming back again. So, today I will continue with our last topic. We are talking about the role playing. So, first we'll finish that. So, yesterday, if you remember, I spoke about the sixth role playing. Already we covered six role playing. So let me share with you. Keshav, can you share the slide? Yeah. So we spoke about the six roles. We already spoke about the different roles we'd play, like a perpetrator or a victim, lover, self definitions. Remember about self definitions where we speak about whether we are a farmer or a trader. Then the temporary roles, whether we are when you go to a restaurant, then we act as a customer or a boss or a subordinate. Different roles we play as a father, as a maybe as an airline passenger. So we play different roles, right? Different roles we play during the course of the day, but we take that role so seriously. Then we play happiness as a role, right? So that we are meant we have to keep that happy face all the time, and that also becomes a role then, right? So but that ego wants you to play that role. That is the very nature of the ego. And now we go to the seventh role. The seventh role, as we play every day or as a part of our human experience, is all of us is as parenthood, right? So, so what is important? So when we play as a role of a parent, we feel that this is it. Our child is completely our responsibility. If we don't, if we don't like everything as if the child is imbibing is only from us, and we take the role so seriously. In fact, the truth is, the child, a lot of the things the child is actually imbibing after a period is also a lot from his own soul contract, own from his own evolution of his own soul. That's why two twins or two brothers who are brought up in the same family, they grow up so differently because they have their own mind, they have their own soul's plan, and a lot of times they grow as per their own soul's plan. But as a parents take it so seriously. So, but the truth is, once we understand that this is just a role we are playing in this lifetime. In next lifetime, you could be the child, and your child could be your parent, right? So it's a role, and that's why, and that's once you understand that it's a role you are playing, then it is conscious parenting. Then you are more aware of the parenting. Otherwise, sometimes even the whole role of parenting becomes conscious suffering. As a parent, you are also suffering, your child is also suffering. Because as a role, just to keep the child correct and make him right, And a lot of times, since we have dominance over the child, we are either demanding so the child becomes more submissive, or either the child becomes more rebellious, right? And sometimes we induct so much guilt and shame in the child that the child starts believing that he is not good enough. But the truth is, every child desire, it is the desire of every child to be treated equally. The deep down, every child feels to be treated equally, and then the child feels respected. So as a parent, we give so much we give so much attention to our child. We want to give so much attention to our child, but there are two types of attention. Let me share with you two types of attention. One is form, and another is formless. The form is about doing, right? What you're doing for your child. As we know that we are human being. Human is form and being is formless. Now, we also focus on doing, but we lose the attention on being formless, on being. And the child wants to be the child. The best way of parenthood is to focus on not just doing but also on being. In order to keep the child correcting or to improve the child so that he become better, so that we are always upset with him, or her, with the children. We're always angry with them. We're always trying to keep correcting them, and we forget that we really need to spend some good times also together, some good joyous moments together. When they're speaking, what's going on in their mind? To give that alert when you're coming from the state of being, then you'll be alert to in the present moment. Then you'll be present then you'll be completely present. Will be alert to what they are saying, what they want to convey. And the children needs your alertness, your completely presence, your touch. And that's why the longing of every child is to be recognized, just not on the level of form, but also on the level of being. The child wants also to be respected. As we expect respect from the child, even the child seeks respect, love. The bond that links true family is not of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. And as you grow, the children, and nowadays, we are so obsessed. We are so we are like we keep our child in constant scrutiny. There's a term called helicopter mothers or parents, where we are completely hovering around them. What time they did what time they ate, how much they ate, where did they go, whom did they meet, whom did they talk. So the child feels that the child is in a constant scrutiny. The child actually is feeling suffocated. Especially today's children, millennials, they tell them what to do, not how to do. We're always telling them what to do, how to do. This is the way. We're always trying to micromanage them. But then, because deep down, are we not trusting them? They need to learn from themselves. Okay, they will make the mistakes. So allow them to make mistakes so that they learn from their mistakes. So Khalil Gibran, I would like to say a few what Khalil Gibran said on children. He said, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. Though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. So a lot of times we need to learn from our children. And always remember, this parenthood is only a role you are playing. It is just your role. It is just a role in this lifetime. And try to be and just don't be a parent. Also be a friend to your child. And I think parenthood or this is the biggest challenge for as every one of us. We focus, right, and we're seeing that a lot of people are asking learn to how to teach parenting or teach meditations to children, but actually this is where we also need to learn. There's so much. Parenthood teaches us so much. Ramdas said, if you're enlightened, spend 1 week with your family. If you think you're enlightened, spend 1 week with your family. Then you really know whether you're enlightened or not. Because that is where they trigger you, they challenge you. You challenge them. Our judgments, our expectations, projections, everything comes into place, right? So role playing, so parenthood is also a role. And ego seeks you into that role so seriously. So understand it's just a role. Then the role we play at work. The 8th role is the role we play at work. Again, I mean, very easy to relate now. At work, whatever your position of power, you think, oh my God, this is my position. In a role as an employer, as an employee, the moment you reach your office, if you are the boss, you are so commanding. You are like, you see everybody is inferior. You're rude. So remember, it's a role you're playing. You have to see everyone as equals. Even the peon in the office, you have to see it as equals. It is only a role. From the soul's point of view, we are all equals. And that's when you develop true relationship. That's when you become a team player. That's when people love your company. That's where you develop loyalty among your employees. Because they are treated as equals. Because you develop authentic relationship. They feel cared for. Then the 9th role the ego plays is the ego in illness. A lot of times we don't realize that our ego, even in illness, we develop an ego. Because ego wants you to keep separated, to stay separated. Your pain body, you develop such a strong association with your pain body. You accept it as it is. You don't believe that your true nature is of well-being. Oh, I am 40 now. Oh, I am 60 now. It is my natural process. You don't want to even go to the root cause why this is happening. Oh, it is genetics. It is a part of my family genes. So there's an ego in illness. And you keep your vibration attached to that illness. You keep focusing on the illness. But now we have learned how to visualize, how to see it as if you're healed. As if you're already healed. How would you behave? How would you do? How would you walk? How would you talk? As if you're already healed. To change your attention to wellness, not to illness. And it is not just about actually physical illness. It's also about emotional illness. We continue to harbor that emotional illness. to harbor those same emotions. Sometimes then you say karma, my karma is, I'm this because of, maybe because of my karma. Karma is a story that we tell ourselves about our past. Sometimes we make that as an excuse. An unhealed person can find offense in pretty much anything something says, something does or says. An unhealed person can find offense in pretty much anything which someone says, does or says. But the healed person understands that the actions of others has absolutely nothing to do with them. So we don't so lose your ego in illness. People love illnesses because that time they draw attention. People are coming and meeting them. That is the time they are getting sympathy from people, some care from others. So you start enjoying illness. Sometimes you feel alone, you feel lonely, you feel ignored, but all of a sudden if you're ill, people are coming and checking on you, asking for you. And then you start enjoying it subconsciously. And that's what ego trips you into that. So subconsciously you don't want to recover. You resist your well-being. But the truth is you don't attract well-being. It's continuously flowing. It is your natural, you are wired for wellness. You don't attract well-being. It's continuously flowing. It's just that either you're letting it in or you're resisting. But the ego resists your wellness and not let it in. If you drop your resistance, you will naturally heal yourself. The 10th ego, the 10th role playing we do as an ego is of the collective ego. I've spoken a lot about the collective ego, how as a religion, as a nation, we carry that collective ego. So these are the 10 role playings we do as an ego. Kesha, we can share the slide so we can just repeat all that. I can just again, we can all see again all the 10s. So the best way to drop a lot of our ego is a lot of times just non-reaction. When you practice non-reaction, that is the way to dissolve ego. When you know at that moment, because at that moment you are unconscious. So best thing is to be conscious is to at this moment let me not react and let me observe myself. What's going on in my mind? What's going on in my thoughts? Observe them. What are my emotions coming up? Observe them. When you observe it in you, it will lose its intensity, right? So non-reaction is a way to dissolve ego and collective human ego. Not only it dissolves your ego, it also dissolves the collective human ego. You become a contributing factor in dissolving others' ego also. So these are the role playings we did. I spoke about yesterday: perpetrator or villain, victim, lover, self-definitions, temporary roles. We play happiness as a role, parenthood, at work, ego and illness, and the collective ego. Right? And as I said before, 90% of the world conflict, as Masha Rosenberg said, 90% of the world conflict is because of wrong tone of voice, which is coming from the ego. Usually your tone of voice reflects your ego state. Only 10% is due to difference of opinion. Imagine 90% is wrong tone of voice, which actually comes from the ego, coming from your unconscious state. That's why Buddha said, wear your ego like a loose fitting garment. Whatever roles we are playing, whatever roles, take it like a loose fitting garment. Don't take your role so seriously. When the ego weeps, what it has lost, the spirit rejoices in what it has found. So initially it might be uncomfortable, but learn to lose your ego. And that's where meditation plays such a great role. Awareness, mindfulness plays such an important role. In pursuit of knowledge, something is added every day. In pursuit of enlightenment, something is dropped every day. So drop your seriousness with the role playing. We don't need to despise our ego. We don't need to despise things or body or forms. It's just that we need to understand that while we embrace them, while we enjoy them, we know that this is the role we are playing. We understand the non-permanence of everything. We understand that everything is constantly changing. Change is permanent. The more you operate, more you understand your ego, the more you become aware that where you're coming from the ego and where you're coming from your original self, true self, the more you'll be able to, the ego will lose its intensity. The more you'll be able to drop it. The more authentic you'll become, more simple you will become. Ego makes it so complicated. Why once you drop your ego, everything becomes so simple. The whole life becomes so simple. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. You think sophistication comes from ego, but no. Complications come from ego. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Because at the end, you love authentic, because the authentic relations come with simplicity. A lot of times people ask me, how do you let go of attachment to things? And I tell them, don't even try. It's impossible. Attachment to things drop away by itself when you no longer seek to find yourself in them. Just stop finding yourself in them. Stop finding yourself in your car, in your possessions, in your brands, in your house. Know that I am only in your wealth. Know that I am only the custodian of wealth. Know that I am only the caretaker of this house. No, I am only the caretaker of the car. But the moment you start saying my house, my car, of course you use these terms in the world, but in your mind, in your awareness, deep down, if you have that awareness, I am only the custodian of wealth. Because I know that I am only the visitor on this planet. And once you have that awareness, then you stop, then you will no longer seek to find yourself in them. And once you do that, the attachment to those things will naturally drop away. When you know that my true source of happiness is my source, is my inner being, is my connection with my inner being, and that is only the secondary source, then attachment will automatically drop away. But if you don't have this understanding, and so many people in religion, so much drop attachment, and so many spiritual people, in spirituality we always say drop attachment. The more you think of dropping attachment, the more you think about that thing. The more you get obsessed with that thing. So it is that understanding, it is that deep knowingness. And once you have that true knowingness, then attachment with the things will automatically drop away. So now I'm going to talk about 11 ego traps. Rashmi, so far so good?
Yes, yes, fantastic. All good.
So 11 ego traps. So sometimes, even our spirituality, we think, and I'm talking more about 11 ego traps that sabotage a spiritual growth. So more I'm talking in terms of us spiritual, how ego, even in spirituality there is ego traps. And one of the greatest dangers on the spiritual path is that the ego becomes spiritualized. Your ego loves to think of itself as spiritually evolved. And it's just another way that it manages to feel important and it control. So that's why it is very important to free yourself from an enlightened ego. So the very spiritual path makes the ego, it also sometimes lets the ego to become spiritualized. So I'm going to share with this 11 ego traps that sabotage your spiritual growth. And of course there could be more, it's just that 11 which came to my mind, so I just sharing with you all. So first ego trap is of spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing. So there are many types of spiritual bypassing. Just because you are thinking spiritual, just because now you have become spiritual, you become, say, obsession. You become obsessed to positive thinking, and now you are always wearing that mask. Sometimes you may not be even spiritual. You may not be even thinking positive. Your inner talks are quite negative maybe, but sometimes it is okay to express your emotion. If you're feeling negative, if you're feeling, it is again a perception. Even emotions are a perception. If you're feeling negative, it's okay to accept it and address it rather than reject it. Otherwise, it lies frozen, it lies buried in the subconscious, and eventually it will explode. Eventually, like a volcano, it will eventually erupt sooner or later. So sometimes if we are spiritual, we become obsessed to positive thinking and keep wearing that mask of nice person, smiling, and deep down there may be a turmoil going on. In spirituality, a lot of times we numb our emotions. I used to do it. It happened to me personally. I thought being emotional is actually a weakness, is our vulnerability. But you see how a child, right? So beautiful a child is. If he is feeling hurt, he'll express it, he'll cry it, and he'll forget it, and he moves on. He's happy, he'll show his happiness, he'll show his joyfulness. So as we evolve in our spiritual journey, we transcend our emotions. We don't numb our emotions. We don't see as negative emotions we don't become scared of those negative emotions, or we don't fear those emotions. We transcend those emotions. We remember that our feelings, what we feel about is what we bring about. So we know that, no, I will not spend much time in this. I will not feed this emotion anymore. You recognize it, but now you don't feed it anymore. You focus your attention to wellness, not to illness. You just shift your attention. Then another trap of spiritual bypassing is weak personal boundaries. Sometimes in spirituality, we drop our boundaries, I mean, and sometimes I will not like to use boundaries, but sometimes your real spirituality is first first being true to yourself. Sometimes as teachers, we're trying to teach others, but we lose our focus and attention on our own growth. Sometimes we don't have time for our own journey to reflect. Because in spirituality, everybody seeks you then. Everybody has their own problems. Can you heal me? Can you do this? Can you solve my problem? Everybody wants you to solve their problem. So, but be clear of your path. And make yourself, don't in spirituality, it's not just about making others a priority. Because you prioritize yourself, that is the extension, others is the extension of your priorities. Because your cup is overflowing, so you are sharing. Then in spirituality, sometimes we show excessive tolerance or compassion, or become blind to things. So sometimes you are not helping the other person by doing that. Sometimes they don't grow because you are trying to excessive tolerance or compassion. If you are a healer, for everything you want to heal the other person, to heal the people around you. Sometimes they are not taking their own responsibility because anything happens, any illness happens, oh, I have a healer heals me. So you have to find the right balance. In spirituality, sometimes we try to kill our ego forcefully. Oh my God, ego is bad. But the truth is, ego is not bad. Ego is not evil. Ego is just unconscious. In spirituality, we have exaggerated detachment. You start abstaining from things. As if you start fearing those things. No. I don't want, if I get this, it is not, that means you're not really spiritual. Detachment is not abstaining from things or running away from those things. That I'll go and sit in the Himalayas but the real spirituality, the real challenge is how to be in the midst of everything, midst of all the challenges, all the surroundings, all the material things. While you enjoy it and still you are detached. And how do you become detached? When you stop looking yourself in those things. That's the simple formula. It is not a mental formula that detached from that thing. It does not happen like that. And sometimes we get stuck to theoretical spirituality. So theoretical spirituality is, we have read, we have learned so much, but spirituality is only theoretical. It's still not felt. And that's why, in this whole workshop, the module is both about knowledge and experience. It is the experience which will stay with you. It is the feelings which turns into long-term memory. It is the feelings which goes into the subconscious mind, and that will transform. Words don't teach. It is your experiences which will teach you. It is the life experiences, your spiritual experiences, your inner journey which will teach you. But sometimes we get stuck in theoretical spirituality. Even in spirituality, we keep analyzing. But the truth is, even spirituality, even everything which you understand is also a paradox. It's always a context which is more important than the content. And then another spiritual bypassing is denying of self-responsibility. Sometimes you deny self-responsibility by placing it on higher beings. Oh, my spirit guides, my angels will help me. But again, you have to be responsible for your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your words. Sometimes say, no, I meditate and now everything is sorted. Everything my angels and spirit guides will help me. We stop taking self-responsibility. Then also in spirituality, sometimes we have a delusion. We have a delusion of being arrived at some higher level of being. You know that we are always work in progress. Enlightenment is not, it is not like one day all of a sudden you are enlightened, and it's a journey. It's always a journey. At any stage it's always a journey. But when we become spiritual, we feel that, oh, I've arrived at some higher level of being. We lose our humility. Our ego traps us into that, again, a spiritual ego. I am superior. And a lot of times we use ego practices to dissociate from emotions rather than transmuting them. We have to transcend our egos. So now I'll come to the second trap. So these are all types of spiritual bypassing. The second trap of ego is of superiority. Or spiritual ego is of superiority. So what happens is, you can share the slide here. So when you are into spirituality, when you meditate, when you know that, no, I understand things better than others. I know things from a deeper meaning. Sometimes this trap of superiority is a very subtle trap, and it sneaks from like a back door, subtly. Then you have strong judgments and condemnations towards others. You start judging everybody around you. Oh, I want to live simply, so now I focus on detachment. So I'll go in a simple car. Okay, so somebody who has an expensive car, then you will judge them. Oh, I am a vegan. Or somebody is, say, I have a different food choice, then you judge them. So, or if somebody is doing gossip around you, so if you're in a party, some friends are meeting and doing gossip, now all of a sudden you have a strong judgment towards them. And you feel, I am superior. Oh, they are stupid people, idiots, they are gossiping. Right? So this is a trap of superiority. You are spiritual, so you don't want to watch any stupid TV shows or soap operas. But if somebody else is watching, now in your mind the judgment is going on. You read spiritual books. Sometimes you read spiritual books. Somebody is reading fiction books. Now you have judgment. Wasting their time. Stupid people. So spirituality, so these are the trap of superiority. But in true spirituality, we understand that everyone is coming from everybody is at a different level of consciousness. And they are living their path so beautifully. You don't condemn them. You don't judge them. That's why Ramdas said, and that we see in the family environment, right? Everybody, we as a soul path, everybody in the soul environment, we choose different level of evolutions in the soul in the family. You have a baby soul, young soul, old soul, adult soul, all in the same family environment. But if you think you're an old soul, now you start judging others. That's why Ramdas said, if you think you're enlightened, spend 1 week with your family. Because that is your true testing ground. But once you awaken, if you're truly awakened, then you'll have no interest in judging those who sleep. Even if they are even you think that they are asleep, they have no understanding about spirituality, you stop judging them. You'll respect them. You'll accept them and allow them to be the way they are. Because that is their path. In one lifetime, in few lifetimes back, even you were like that. But that is how this journey of evolution is. That is a stepping stone. That is how they'll all evolve. And I'm going to talk more about all these concepts in soul evolution and soul contracts a day later. So once you awaken, you'll have no interest. Once you awaken, you'll have no interest in judging those who sleep. Now the third trap of spirituality, spiritual ego, is trap of forcefully trying to wake others up. You become pushy. Oh, my husband is not a meditator. But maybe even without meditation, he knows how to conduct himself better than you. Or maybe not. But we don't have to force spirituality on others. You can talk about it. You can introduce a concept gently. But you can't force on them. Not on the people around you, not on your family, your friends, anybody. So don't forcefully try to wake up others. It's their choice. Whenever the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So are they ready? See their readiness. Sometimes they are not ready, which is fine, and you respect that. The third trap of spiritual ego, is trap of wanting to help others. Sometimes people are not seeking any advice from you. Now, because you have all these fundas in your mind, you just only everything you want to give them your advice. Yeah. You want to give them unsolicited advice. So give the advice if it is solicited. So don't the trap of just because you are wanting to help others, but respect their boundaries also. See their readiness. Give them, of course, help them if they are seeking your advice, if they are seeking your help. The trap of wanting to revolutionize the world. So again, that is another spiritual ego. You want to join the fight against corruption. You want to embrace violence to fight something also, forgetting your own internal revolution. So many times people don't focus on their own change. Little bit they know, and now they want to revolutionize the whole world. They want to become the leaders and take a march and bring a whole movement and organizations against that. And in mass, and from the mass perspective, you are developing resistance. That's why Rumi said, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, then I want to change myself. So again, your spirituality has to come from your cup overflowing. Neil Donald Walsh said that your only obligation in this lifetime is to be true to yourself. So first be true to yourself. First focus on your journey, and then that is a natural extension. So don't and in that trap to wanting to revolutionize, sometimes we lose focus on ourselves, on our own spiritual journey, on our own growth. In fact, we start going backward. Then the trap of meaninglessness. Sometimes when you become spiritualized, you start finding the whole world so meaningless. Oh, this is an illusion. This is a maya. You have then you become you get into a depressive mindset. You feel so separated from the whole existence. But true spirituality, which I believe is to embrace everything, is life affirmative, not life negative. That's why we come here in this three-dimensional reality, to embrace everything, not to feel separated from existence, to feel that me and my existence is one. So again, it's a paradox. We live in a paradox, So we have to understand the fine meaning. We have to enjoy the world of things, not despise them. But sometimes we become so disillusioned, and then all of a sudden we go into a depressive mindset. Everything is his own. Everything has its meaning. Everything is his right place. Everything is working as per the law of attraction. So but in spirituality sometimes we get into the trap of meaninglessness. There's no meaning to this world. I do not belong to this world. I don't know why I'm here. Then seventh is the trap of avoiding everyday responsibilities. Spirituality means being to become more responsible. Responsibility is the ability to respond things with more awareness, more mindfulness. But sometimes, a lot of times, spiritual people start living off the grid. Just because you've gone into spirituality, I've gone into spirituality. That does not mean you start living off the grid. You feel so disconnected from everything around you and stop taking responsibilities. There's a Zen saying which says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So nothing really changes. Nothing really changes. You still do what you do. It's just that you change your state of being while you're doing what you're doing. And when you change your state of being, now instead of hard work, you're doing smart work. But you're still working. You don't avoid the day-to-day responsibilities. And sometimes, and this real spiritual growth happens when you are facing day-to-day challenges. That leads to your spiritual growth. That leads to expansion. And that leads to your calibration, to your alignment. How would you know if you're aligned or not unless you face the challenges? It is not about leaving the whole world, leaving the whole family, and leaving things and then going somewhere and then you are spiritual. You may do it as a part of the process, but eventually a true test of spirituality is when you face the life challenges. I've seen so many spiritual people, spiritual teachers who are amazing teachers. But the moment they go through some challenge, some real life challenge happens to them, they are so disturbed. And secretly they'll share that disturbedness with me. Because they can't show to the world that they are disturbed. So the true test of spirituality is to embrace day-to-day life challenges and not avoiding the responsibilities. Then the trap of self-victimization. Sometimes in spirituality, we feel victimized. We start behaving like a victim. The world is a bad place to live in. Everybody is crooks, everybody is criminals, everybody is taking advantage of me. I am such a nice human being. I am such a spiritual human being. Sometimes you even blame God for your problems. You avoid self-responsibility. And the very act of spirituality which is supposed to empower you, you behave like a victim. The ninth trap of spiritual ego is the trap of savior complex, which is like a trap of superiority complex. This is like a trap where you start believing or feeling that, oh, I have some specialness in me. So very spirituality leads to your inflated ego, self-importance. I am spiritual. Wherever I am going, people should give importance to me. You start an organization, you become a leader of some cult or some spiritual organization. Now you are heading that organization. You start wearing some special clothing, special poses. You have 10 disciples around you to create that false aura around yourself. Special tika, this tika, that tika, special things you start wearing. Right, so again that is a spiritual trap. Your clothes, your pose, your tika, all those things does not make you really spiritual. So again, the trap of superiority complex, and that is really big, especially in spiritual leaders. Then 10th is the trap of attachment. So this is a trap of attachment to your experiences. You got some mystical experience. Now every day you meditate, you want to again experience that. Again you are looking to experience that mystical experience again. So you become attached to those experiences. You go through some spiritual experiences. Now you latch on to your stories. Oh, this happened to me. You go through some psychic experiences. Now you want to tell everybody, I went through this psychic. Oh, I'm so psychic. I had to come to know everything beforehand. I to do this. I get these visions. I get these experiences, which is amazing. But sometimes that also inflates your ego, and also it makes you attached to those experiences. Wayne Dyer said, "Have a mind which is open to all and attached to nothing." Be open to those experiences, but again, don't fall into the trap of those experiences. Experiences will come and go. At the end, what matters is your transformation. At the end, what matters is how are you feeling emotionally? Have you emotionally transformed? What are your thoughts? What are your emotions? What is your state of being? What is your energy? What is your vibrational frequency? What is your vibrational output? All that matters. Then the 11th trap of spirituality is relying on external answers. We keep relying on external answers. Getting personal guru. Oh, I need personal guru. Attachment with the guru. You also become attached with the guru. My guru is the best. You are very attachment with the guru. At different lifetimes, different things can be a guru. As you evolve, your different gurus will change. So don't think that one guru is the best. Only you can learn so many different things from different people. In class 2, you had a great teacher. He was an amazing teacher. But when you went to class 3, class 4, class 5, your teachers kept changing, right? So as you evolve, your teachers will you'll choose the teachers which is in resonance with your evolution, and it is okay to move on. That does not mean you respect your old teachers any less. So stop holding out to your attachment to your guru. Stop looking for external answers. Eventually, with all the knowledge, with all the experience, eventually, everything what you're seeking, every answer that you're seeking, already lies within you. Stop doing from one workshop to another workshop. I meet people who keep doing from one workshop to another, and another, and they keep doing. It's not about certifications. I did this course. I'm a Reiki master also. I'm a pranic healer also. I'm a theta healer also. I did bar consciousness. I did this. I did yoga. I did everything. So many things. But sometimes just one thing can take you deep within. You don't need too many things. What you need is to embrace that, practice it. To go deeper into one experience. So stop relying on external answers. All these can be tools, but eventually it is your journey. Nobody can do your own push-ups. No course can actually make you enlightened. Eventually, unless you take responsibility, unless it is your choice. Even today, if you're doing this 28-day workshop, you may feel great. But 2 months later, 3 months later, you may forget everything. When you are completely living in day, and you may go back to your old patterns. Then you want to do another course. Then another course, then some other course. But the idea is practice. Whatever you have learned, put it into practice every day. Stop relying on external answers. The one you are seeking is you. That's why Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. When you detach from your identity, you become nothing. But that nothing contains everything. So everything what you're seeking outside is already within you. Just as the white light contains all colors, right? Vibgyor, right? The white actually contains all the 7 colors. The same way, in you lies everything. So this is the trap of relying on external answers. So I've gone through all the 11 ego traps, and I'll again share these slides with all of you, whatever I've shared today, in the WhatsApp group tomorrow. So Keshwa, you can just go back again to the last slide. Yeah. So let me end now this the whole topic of ego. So again, I'll just repeat what Buddha said: wear your ego like a loose-fitting garment. So don't take it so seriously. Have fun. Be spontaneity. Don't lose spontaneity. Rumi said, be like a melting snow. Wash yourself off yourself. Be like a melting snow. Wash yourself off yourself. So this is the journey. You're washing yourself off yourself. Lao Tzu said, let's be nothing. I heard it lasts forever. Let's be nothing. But because when you're nothing to lose. When you don't find yourself in things around you, that is your state of being nothingness. Then you have nothing to lose. When you don't find yourself in them, then they have nothing to lose. Whether it is there or not there, it's fine. Because you are complete in yourself. So be authentic, be simple. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Simplicity is sexy. Being ordinary is extraordinary. Being ordinary is extraordinary. The more spiritual you become, the more you behave ordinary. And that ordinariness is the extraordinariness. That is when you are without any traps. The more interested you are in others, be interested rather than interesting. Sometimes it's good to be anonymous. You don't need your name everywhere. You do things without even sharing your name. You donate without even telling your name. Because because you do it because it gives you joy. Not to show others, oh, I am donating. In the end it's not between you and him. It's between you and him. In the end, it's not between man and man. It is between you it's between the man and the God. Because he sees you, your emotions, your true, your genuineness, your authenticity, and you will be rewarded anyways. Obscure outlasts the oblivious. Obscure outlasts the obvious. So sometimes just be obscure. You don't have to make everything so obvious. So when the ego weeps what it has lost, the soul rejoices in what it has found. Thank you. Yes, Rashri, we end the ego session today now. If we have time.
Excellent.
Yeah, so 5 minutes, friends, I want to talk about tomorrow morning. We'll start with the transgenerational healing meditation. It's more like a therapy, transitional healing therapy. So briefly, 5 minutes, I want to talk about it so that when we do it in the morning, before I talk much, usually how we start our morning with meditation, so that you have basic awareness of what is this transgenerational healing, right? So transgenerational healing is about healing a family tree. We are born in a family. We are born from our in a family. When we are born, we have our grandfathers, maybe great grandfather, or our parents. And we carry so you are a link in that family chain that spans through generations. And at times we experience, we carry the belief systems, all the emotional traits of our family, because it has been passed from generation to generations. The emotions, the patterns, the patterns of behavior, the belief systems, the habits can transform from generation to generation, unintentionally and unconsciously and subconsciously. And this is referred to as transgenerational transfer, transgenerational transmission. But it is possible to release these patterns, release new belief systems. Even the trauma can be transformed from generation to generation. And sometimes we repeat the patterns of the family. Like suppose you are born in a family who always told you the story that neighbors are an enemy. These neighbor family is our enemy. Now you are born into that family story. So since you are born, you also don't talk to your neighbors because you've been told that they are your enemies. So sometimes we are born into the story and we live that story in our whole life. And then we pass on that story to our generation. And a lot of times unintentionally. Because we have a family loyalty. Subconsciously you love your family. So you develop a loyalty towards your family. But sometimes a lot of beliefs are not beneficial for you. A lot of times you carry anger, frustration within your family. Your father did not have a good relation with your grandfather. Now you don't have a good relation with your father. And your child will not have a good relation with you. And so many times these patterns are passed subconsciously. So tomorrow we'll do a beautiful meditation, and I'm going to talk much more in detail after the session, after the meditation, where we'll use forgiveness as a tool to release all these patterns. Right? An event one forgiven becomes a powerless memory. So we'll use forgiveness as a tool to release all these patterns, to heal, we'll visualize our parents, our grandparents, and all the family tree, the whole, maybe going up to 12 generations, and release all this energy blanket, which we wear an energy blanket of the whole family. And we pass on that energy blanket to our children and to the grandchildren, and it goes on and on. It's called transgenerational transfer. Right? So once we heal this, so many things get resolved. And we break the chain of pain. Now we do not transfer it back to our generation, our coming generation, our children, and to their children. A trauma not transformed becomes a trauma transferred. So many in the family psyche, so much of trauma we've been carrying. It has not been healed, and then it has been transferred from generation to generation. That's why a trauma not transformed become a trauma transferred. But once we recognize it, once we realize it, we heal it, then we break the chain of pain. And then I'm going to go much more detail in the topic tomorrow. But tomorrow we are going to start with this meditation. So very, very powerful healing process. It's a healing journey. So it's a therapy, in fact, So please join on time. I will start sharp at 6 o'clock. So please don't be delayed. Just join in sharp on time. And it's a 1 hour, 17 minutes therapy. It's a healing journey. And then we'll go into the theory part of it, right? If you have any questions about it quickly, you can answer. I can answer in the Q&A session now. Yeah, Rashri, we can start.
So, yes, it was a wonderful session, a very mind-blowing session today. Ego, it was really, really, really very impactful. The way, so simply you just explained, every word is pearl of wisdom, every word. I just don't know what I should write and what I should miss. It's so beautiful, the way it just flows from you. Thank you so much. All my gratitude. Don't judge others. Always be open to them. Avoid the mentality, I'm superior, because I meditate, because I'm on the pathway to enlightenment. This subtle ego is a terrible trap. Your ego is your greatest enemy. Don't be governed by it. So even we are on this spiritual path, again, we have to remind ourselves, we are doing so many things, but to remind ourselves that yes, we have to be just subtle and we have to be ourselves. So breathe, breathe and breathe. And here we go on the Q&As. And thank you so much for enlightening us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for your time and attention. Thank you.
So we have MK. Yeah,
Hello.
please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Hello, are you listening?
Good morning. We can hear you, sir. Yeah.
Right now, I am 52, and because of law of attraction, I got this chance to be with you. So my question is that I'm carrying some misbeliefs. Something happened 300 years ago, and I think that I'm responsible for it. I'm taking it personally. So I'm dealing with this misbeliefs very hardly. So how can I
So again,
improve on it.
tomorrow, day after, next 3 days, we're going to work on all these things also. And tomorrow,
Okay.
we will go through a very powerful healing journey called transgenerational healing. So that will also help you. Yeah.
Achha. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And our beliefs are nothing but the most practiced thoughts. So all the moment you become aware of those thoughts, you have to withdraw your attention from those thoughts and change your thinking pattern, change that loop of that same thoughts, and that's how you change your belief system, and
Uh,
replace it with the more positive beliefs, positive affirmations.
yeah. Yesterday you had a very positive session on this whole ego, and I was actually I was rejoicing yesterday. I watched two sessions, morning and evening also. So I was on the top of the world. But suddenly, I am used to negative thinking. Then the whole night, my subconscious mind passed all those negative things, and in the morning, I'm just before I was, before personality. So I think I should come out of this. So
Of course, and you will. I mean, it's just a practice, just a more awareness, more awareness.
okay. I'll be practicing each and every method you have taught to us. I will practice it definitely. That will be my contribution towards your efforts.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I am Sriram from Bangalore. The sessions were really, really amazing. I have one doubt. My mind is always agitated, restless, and also having illusion. And from young age, I've kind of compared with other kids. So in family, also parents, I feel like very suffocated. Even in workspace, also I felt the same. So it's going on for many, many years, more than 30. So how do I come out of it? It affects my regular day-to-day life as well.
So that's what I'm doing, right? This whole workshop is all about all those things, and we have given shared so many tools and techniques, including meditation, breath work. Practice all that, and so many things I've spoken about it. Maybe if you want, you can redo the workshops on YouTube. You can go again or on the website, and you'll find your own answer. I mean, I've already shared whatever I need to share about this to how to come out. It's just that it's about only about your practice and meditation, mindfulness. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, thank
Go
you,
to the
Sheila.
next. Yeah.
Can
Yeah, please go ahead, Tripti ji.
I think there is a disturbance at the background somewhere.
No,
So
it's okay. You can go ahead.
that's okay. Yeah, no problem. Hi. Hello, Rajashri ma'am, and hello, Shreyans. Thank you so much for this lovely and very, very insightful sessions, basically. So my question is this ego part 1 and 2, when I was going through, I realized that I'm not able to practice it because for a simple reason that when I'm listening, I'm agreeing to the fact. However, I'm finding it difficult to put it into practice because I have young kids like 8 and 10. Uh, so sometimes it so happened that I really want to control in the sense I really want to give them the answers accordingly, keeping in mind these facts. बट वो फिर कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है कि अरे ये सिचुएशंस को कैसे टैकल करेंगे बिकॉज these are real life situations. So उसमें how because your examples are you have shared couple of examples that this is how one can do it, but I am finding it little challenging in implementing it because surrounded by people who don't understand all this.
No, the basic simple formula I'll give you. Uh, it is whether you are dealing with them or this in the situation with when you are aligned or whether you are not aligned. If you are connected to your source energy and when you're alignment, then you will take the right, then you will make the right choice. You will take the right decision at that moment. There's no one solution to for a different parent, different child, different environment. There could be different way of handling things. There's no one right or wrong, right?
True.
But when you're in alignment, you'll make the right choice. But when you're not aligned, then focus whether at that moment, just ask yourself, am I aligned? If I'm not aligned, then focus on your alignment, and then do what you do. So just see whether you are coming from the source of alignment, or you are separated from your alignment. And if you're aligned, then whatever choice you'll make, whatever decision you'll make the right decision.
So my next question would be, when you say align, what is the feeling all about? I mean, about alignment. I mean, if I may ask, because वो कब पता चलेगा कि हम aligned है?
Like how you experience that in meditation, right? You feel
Yes, yes.
connected, you feel completely composed, you feel peace, you feel inner joy, right? And that is the state of alignment. Your emotions are your guidance system. Your emotions will tell you what are your inner emotions.
Yes.
If you're in a state of frustration or anger or hurt or resentment, that means you're not in alignment. So at that moment, take time out and bring yourself into alignment, and then take a decision, and then act, and then make a choice.
Okay. So my challenge I can share, because this I can see a pattern, or I would say this challenge I'm not able to come out of it. That is, one is when I do these meditations for 1 hour, 1.5 hour, I'm absolutely enjoying. After that also, I stay in that particular zone for some time. But when I am again, because obviously it's a house, so you are surrounded by neighbors, children, and a lot of other situations comes, and even especially parents, because though I have been telling them to attend it, but वो नहीं attend कर रहे अभी,
Yeah,
क्योंकि वो
come
बोल रहे हैं
to the
100%.
question fast, na? Yeah, so yeah.
So question is, I go back to the normalcy in the sense autopilot mode पे.
Yeah, but that is very
क्योंकि हम जब consciously वापस लेके आ रहे हैं, वापस हम, I mean, I slip down
happens
and
with
I go back to.
everyone. It happens with you, it happens with me. It's just that how much time we spend in autopilot, how much time we spend in alignment. It's just the difference is the with more practice now, then you'll spend more time in alignment, less time in the autopilot mode. So sometimes you are a son of man, we are a son of God, or a daughter of man and a daughter of God. So how much time we spend in that state of alignment, that is when we are connected to our source. So it is slowly the time will change. You'll spend more time with more awareness, with more meditation, with more practices. Your time will change, and that's the journey. So it's okay. So don't feel, there's nothing to feel wrong about it. It's a part of human experience. This is how you've been conditioned for years and lifetimes. So it will take some time, and give yourself some time. How do I make my today better than yesterday? So it makes little progress every day. How do I make little progress every day? Right? That is important. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. So it is about continuous improvement.
True.
Not like one day, today I am perfect now, and now nothing will happen. So
No.
it is always continuous improvement. And
Always work in progress.
helps you. Life challenges helps you to make that improvement. You need that thing to make that improvement.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last question, how do you react, or how do you handle situations when you interact with someone who absolutely does not understand this world? I mean, the kind of awareness which I have got now. So I'm not comparing, but I'm saying, like, for example, some of them who doesn't understand this whole language of law of attraction, or these mind games and ego and stuff like that. तो उनके साथ कब कैसे they are there around you, so how do you usually handle when they start putting a lot of negative stuff to you, when they start sharing it? What do you do usually? You keep
Identify with that. You don't identify with their unconscious state, right? You don't identify with that. Even if you have to you hear it peacefully, without losing your own alignment, and without identifying with what they're saying. Then their thing is theirs, without judging them, without condemning them. It's their journey.
Okay.
You
So
may
if they
share your thoughts. You may share your thoughts, but without imposing your
ah,
thoughts on them. Yeah. Without
okay.
expectation that they will have to follow their thoughts, and my thoughts are right and they are wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks a
Thank,
lot.
thank you. But good questions. I mean, these are all real life challenges, which is good. Thank you.
Thank you. Rajeshri ma'am, you are on mute.
Shalini ji, please unmute.
Hello, Rajeshri ma'am. Thank you so much for and Shreans ji sir for this wonderful session. We are learning so much every time from you all. My question is, do these spiritual ego traps apply to parents also when we are guiding or channeling, trying to channel kids on what to do, what not to do, behavior-wise, all of those areas?
So always there's a thin line, always there's a thin line where you can be your best judge. Are you coming from your ego self, or are you coming from your authentic self to really help someone, to help your child, or are you imposing something on him or her? So you are the best judge. And exactly as I told before also, when you are in alignment, then you'll make the right choice. When you're not in alignment, that is most probably you're coming from the sense of ego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Anand ji, please unmute. Yeah.
Morning, Shreyanshi.
Yes.
Yo, lovely.
And
You got the
Rajeshri
book,
ji.
the four again.
Yeah, yesterday I told this Pyramid Valley. Yeah, it was a great experience. And even I happened to get the number of architect of that pyramid.
Yes.
It was a lovely experience. One thing I just want to know, when I was sitting there for a meditation on top, so I know maybe it could be a structural thing. There was some swing type of thing. I just want to make sure that it was a structural movement when people are going up and down. Hope that is a thing.
It's a structural thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Thank you, Shreyanshi. Very
Thanks.
nice to be with you. Thank you, Rajeshri ji. Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Avikshit ji. Yeah, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Pranam, sir. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for all the sessions. We had a question, sir, with regards to managing kids in a joint family, where we have, my great grandmother just a few years, 3-4 years back, she passed away. So we were actually 4 generations living in one roof, and you can imagine the challenges. And so how do we address those to be short? And
I mean, there's no one single formula. It's just that whatever I've taught or whatever I've shared, I mean, just apply it, keep that awareness of this understanding, and you'll know in that situation.
right.
Is it coming from your ego? Is it coming from your role as a parenthood, which you take it so seriously? Are you taking them as equals or not? At a deeper level, do you treat them equal? Are you coming from the state of doing or also from a state of being? How much time are you spending good time with your child, with your family, with your parents, with your children? From a state of being, how are you living by example, or you are just saying it? And if you're just saying it, the children will never accept it, because or are you actually living what you're saying? So then there's the energy to your words, when you're living it. So just see all this, observe it, all these things. People will forget what you did for them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. A lot of times with children, we keep doing so much for them, but we always keep make them feel bad. The moment they are in your company, we scrutinize them. You did this wrong. You did this wrong. You are not good enough. So in their mind, they always feel they are not good enough. In their mind, they sit next to you. They always feel they are being judged. They always feel that my parents are always finding faults in me. So in your intention is to make their life better, but then in the whole process, you become addicted to that actually. You forget your state of being and you focus on doing. Did you brush? Did you wash your, did you what? Did you do? Did you do? I mean, the word starts from this only. The moment you sit and yeah. So and you start keeping finding fault, but then the children starts in their mind, now they're resisting. It's just that they wait for the time when they can grow up and raise their voice. Till such time, they're just in their mind, they're like, oh my God, I'm tolerating my parents. So it is about state of being. How much good time you're having. Sometimes it's okay to let them, okay, it's okay be with their mistakes and just celebrate the time together. Otherwise, we are losing the time. We think that, okay, now if I don't improve, then when will improve? But then that chasing that improvement never stops as a parent. And in that way, the whole life goes by. By the time they turn 18, we are still doing that. And then you wonder why now the child has become teenage, now he doesn't respect me, he doesn't listen to me. He's such a rebel. So keep the right balance of doing and being. Right? So yeah.
Right. So one last question. I see some patterns, in the family, having spent 40 years with them, especially mental patterns. Would you suggest that we do the transgenerational healing? I mean, my father, mother, everybody is a meditator, and so me and my wife. And the kids are also now into meditation. So can we do a transgeneration all together? And
Yes, it's beautiful to do it together. It's beautiful to do it together.
they haven't done your course. I mean, that was
Doesn't matter. Course it doesn't matter. The process is important. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sushma ji, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, Rajshri ji. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I don't know how to turn on my camera, so that's why. Otherwise, I would love to be there. And thank you so much, Shreans sir. I have been doing your meditations for
Sushma, just tell me
couple of months.
Yeah, Sushma, just tell me, where are you from? What you do? Yeah.
I am from Virginia, United States, and I teach economics. I am an associate professor.
Wow.
So here I do not have question, but I really want to give you thank, because I have felt something today which I want to share and with others as well, because people were questioning how to do that. So what during this course on day 10, you talked about how thoughts become things. All right. And my scenario is I am teaching here, but I born and brought up in Chhattisgarh, Jagdalpur, a very small town from Hindi medium background. But I was able to pursue my dream. I got my PhD in India in Hindi medium, but I was able to get my professorship here, and I'm happily doing that, and there was no issue. But somewhere in my heart, it was always there. I am from Hindi medium, and I was lacking in confidence and communication. I had that feeling. So the day I heard about your this talk on day 10, you told us to write, I am good in communication, affirmation. And I started doing that, and today is the 15th day. And today in my class, I don't know what happened, but I felt there is some energy, and I was flawless. I enjoyed my class. I have been teaching from last 12 years. But today it was something different. I have been listening about others' experience. You get this. But today was the day when I got that. And I really wanted to share with you. And I'm so happy today I got that chance. Thank you so much, Rajshri ma'am. I'm able to share my feelings. And thank you so much. And I tell everyone, please do whatever Shreans sir is saying. And there it will be always true if you have right tool and if you have consistency. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Sushma ji. Thank you. Just follow him.
Yes.
No, I would say accept what resonates with you and reject what does not resonate with you. So it's just I'm only sharing, but feel free to accept or reject whatever I'm sharing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Santosh ji?
Yeah, thank you, Rajshri. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Shreyans, Varun, and the entire team. It has been a great experience for me. A lot of transformation personally. I had a lot of emotional state imbalance throughout my life. So last 24 days definitely have huge transformation on my emotional state. Whatever crisis, challenges, definitely today I'm facing it in a different way. I'm Santosh. I'm a trainer. I'm based out of Chennai. I train mutual fund. So my question, definitely I have learned a lot of tools from you, Shreyans, to handle life, various situations.
Yeah.
But one challenge what I face currently is that I'm also more practicing more mindfulness for last few days. So whenever I conversing with people, what is popping up is that I see other people resisting. I also see other people is giving his judgment. Maybe tomorrow I may also see my wife is doing helicopter parenting. Right. So that is what is popping up when we have a conversation. So how do we respond to that? Since we have this tool, the other people may not be aware of that. So you have answered it in the previous question, but still I would like to have more thought on that.
So yes, it's very common that we find people around, but then again, at the deeper level, you also understand that two things. One is either it is also a reflection of me. My environment is a reflection of me. What is it? What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to tell me where I need to work on myself? Somewhere it is your mirror, whatever, it's a mirror, right? And it is only reflecting the content of your consciousness. So that is one understanding, right? Or the other way is you feel, or where they are in their unconscious state, where you do not relate with their where you do not engage with their unconscious state, and you accept them to where they are, because you know that everybody is going to their own journey. So do you accept them to be the way they are, and you don't judge them.
Okay.
Right? So in spite of what they are, and that is your beauty to respond, because you are not losing your vibration in response to their vibration. Even if though they are in resistance, but you are not in resistance state. You are not losing in your vibration. So that is the power you have. So either ways it works for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shreyans.
Yeah.
Amazing journey. Thanks for touching a lot of people's life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Santosh.
Thank you so much. Payal ji, please unmute.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm Payal, and I'm from Mumbai. I'm 40 years old, and I've been working for 16 years. First of all, good morning, Rajesh and Shreyan. This is my first meditation workshop, and I have never attended anything like meditation. And this is a very good experience which I've been experiencing from last 24 days. And I would, I'm very thankful to you because this 24 days has really changed a lot of things in me. I am a very hyperactive person and sometimes very short-tempered. And now this is a very good, change in me when I'm trying to control my anger, my emotions. I've got only three questions, which will I just take a quick thing. One, my first question is whenever I meditate, whenever I take an erect posture and I meditate, the right side of my back, the spine, pains. So is it normal or is it something
Normal.
related to
It's
my head?
normal. It's very normal.
But but it is only right side, so nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whichever side, but it's very normal to have pain, especially in back pains and spine pain or headache. So, but then it is the healing journey. It's part of the journey. It's part of the process of healing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. My second question, which I had messaged on WhatsApp, was this: when we do the breath work, when Varun had taken a breath work, so both the breath work were awesome. I really felt that I was actually in a gym because I'd done my gymming for 2 years. But when there were some Q&As were going on, so I heard from a lot of people saying that after the breath work, they got connected to the their childhood, this thing. But I didn't feel any that such emotion during my both the sessions. So what do you like? So is it normal or it's
It's
just that?
normal. Yeah, everybody, you will experience things as per as per your the divine, the intelligence, the higher intelligence knows exactly what experience you need at that moment of time, and whatever experience is needed will come to you. So, and that's why every meditation could be different experience. Every breathwork could give you a different experience. So it does not necessarily that, oh, they are getting the experience and you're not getting the experience. It's just that at that moment that experience is not needed for you at that moment of time. When if it is needed, it will come to you. If it is not needed, it will not come to you. So it just trust the process.
Okay. So main question is whenever I meditate, so my concentration for that 60 minutes is not constant. Sometimes that my concentration day breaks up and all that.
Common, it's
So
common. Everybody goes through that. Even after many years of meditation, also sometimes thoughts will random thoughts will come. And then again, I bring my awareness to my breath. So it's common. It's fine. Yeah.
So because it is very common in the morning, especially because my child is a morning school, so his alarm is ringing up and he doesn't wake
Yes.
up.
Yes.
So then I have to stop my meditation between. I have to make him like, "Are you get up because the school is there."
I
So
can
that's
understand.
normal.
For mothers, of course, it's all the more, morning routines, you have to follow all that. So,
So
no, but
that's
it's very
normal.
common. It's fine. Totally fine. Yeah.
So how do I get into that focus thing? So maybe
Because strangers do
practicing.
meditation at the time, find the time to meditate when you know now you have nothing to do. You have no obligation to perform or no duty to perform, and this is the time when next 1 hour I can just give this as a priority.
Okay.
Then you'll be able to go more deeper then. And that is the best time for you.
Thank you. And my last question. Right now, I think you were just thinking about the ego traits and the role play, especially being a parent. So this is just my personal experience, which I'm experiencing from last 2 days. Is that when you tell a child to do something and they don't respond to you, like you tell them very nicely, that is what you have been teaching from last 24 days. Be very subtle, be soft to them. Don't be bossy. You can take them in the same routine and that. You're trying to teach them something, give them telling, okay, you do this, you do that. But they will not listen to you. Even if you keep repeating 10 times, 20 times in a soft tone, they will not listen to you. What will they do is they will ignore you and they will be busy with their, mobile games or laptop games or their something. And end of the time, I lose my patience and I then have to shout at them. Okay, I've been telling you so nicely, do this, do that, or whatever it is. Get this thing done. I just need your help on this. I am not always bossy, but I sometimes tell them, actually I was bossy from these many days. From last 24 days, I've tried making changes in my tone, my words. So, you help me out in this or that. But then how do you handle this? Because they don't listen to you. They're so much engrossed in the mobile games, laptop games, even if you give them
Then
that
you
time limit.
take being in the right, with very nicely, you can still be firm, right? You can say, okay, if you continue, I'm going to take your phone away, and do that. Be
Actually, I've
firm.
tried doing that too, but it didn't work out.
No, no. I
So,
mean, eventually every child is different. As a parent is different. So every environment is different. So you have to find around that. But my thing is, do it, whatever you want to do it nicely but firmly. Because also the child does not know what's best for him or her at that moment of time, especially with video games and all these things. So do it firmly but nicely. Don't have to lose yourself and then do it. So that
got it.
at that moment the child might feel very irritated, he might feel frustrated, angry, but again respond with calm, and they'll wonder, "Kya I was shouting, my mom is still not angry." Let's surprise them with your behavior, but do it firmly, but nicely. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I was just connecting today because you were talking about the age, 50s. Well, I'm in 40s now. So now it's like my elder one is exactly into teens and I'm exactly into 40s. So
Right.
both that changes are like, just maybe, I don't know, it's attracting or it's distracting, but we are just into reflexive mode, rebellious mode. Sometimes I get irritated, sometimes he get irritated. But yes, I will try this. And really, really, really thank you. I think you have changed my perception towards life and my relationships, how to improve and how to take care of it. And I'll
Thank you.
surely implement in this, in my daily routine. And I'm also looking forward for more workshops, to more understanding because as I said, I'm just a beginner. So thank you so much, Shan. And
Thank
thank
you.
you to Varun also.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajeshri.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Rajshri, so we can end, or you want to take one last, whatever.
There are 3 in line, but they're not unmuting themselves.
So let's
Yeah?
close the session. Yeah, it's already 8:48, so let's close.
Yes, yes.
And
Thank
then
you.
we'll continue with Q&As again tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you for the wonderful answers you give them. It's really nice. And there's some Sudhaji who is on her 60th birthday. So wishing Sudhaji a very happy birthday from STF and all of us. You have a wonderful journey. And yes, somebody asked Sejal ji that whenever she's meditating, she has a lot of itching. So how you could...
Yeah, sometimes even that happens. Yeah.
Okay, so that's also normal. So Sejal, that's also normal. So yes, today we end with our ego, and we should end it all. We shouldn't have it. We should be just simple, as you, Patriji, everybody says, सहज हो जाओ, simple हो जाओ. And you know, this is the way life has to be: happy, joyful, and smiling. And this is all you have given us. Thank you so much. आपकी वाणी और विचारों का नियंत्रण आपके हाथों में है. यदि आप इसका उपयोग प्रशंसा, प्रेम, सम्मान और आदर और श्रद्धा व्यक्त करने के लिए करते हैं, तो आपका तन, मन, धन सब कुछ अपने आप स्वस्थ हो जाता है. आप निरंतर प्रगति और उन्नति करते हैं. So yes, this is all we gather. We have to be simple. We have to be as we are, as God has given us, with our source. So now I understand. When I was initially doing source energy, used to tell me, I used to find these words so heavy and I used to not understand. But now it's so easily, I can relate to it. And thank you so much, all the viewers, all the participants all over the world. Thank you for the time, for the gratitude. I get overwhelmed when I see all the messages. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to our wonderful, magic, majestic master, Shreans Daga. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
a good
Rajshri, to such a graceful Rajshri, and so we feel we're in the presence of an enlightened person when you are there. Really nice. And yeah. And what you say in Hindi is so beautiful. There's so much depth in when you say in Hindi, which is so beautiful. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So thank you all, friends. So let's meet again tomorrow, and we'll start with a beautiful healing, transgenerational healing meditation tomorrow. Yeah.
Shreans, this can be done indoor, outdoor. This also
Indoor,
question.
Indoor.
Yes. So this meditation.
No, outdoor, but basically it will be in a sitting posture. Yeah. So it's your choice, but yeah, anything is fine. Yeah.
Yes. So see you tomorrow for another very profound session tomorrow on transgeneration healing. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.